Hi YouTubers, TJ here. Welcome to my barn shop. So today we're going to be working on a steering stem for a KX85. The KX85 project continues. So we're going to be pressing off the bearings and we're going to be pressing off the steering stem the correct way. I think it's the correct way. There's many other different ways on YouTube. You can go view, just do a search on steering stem, dirt bike steering stem removal or steering stem bearing removal. You'll find a bunch of them. I don't agree with a lot of them. There are only a few out there that I do agree with. So you can make that determination of what you agree with and you don't agree with and what tools that they use to do that with. So in this video, I'll show you the tools that I made in order to accomplish this. This is a jig that I made a while back that I used to press on and off bearings for the swing arm. I turned a couple other items out of aluminum. For this process, I used some Delrin. Hopefully it'll hold up. Piece of old fence post or pipe maybe, I'm not really sure. And this driver is actually from a big block Chevy piston removal where I press the pins off the rods. And it actually fits in here quite nicely. It does get a little tight after you press and come out. So I'm going to be showing you how I actually press everything off. And then once I get the bearings in, I'll press everything back on and not mar or crack or break anything. So I'm going to bring it in closer here and show you exactly what I made. Okay, so here's some of the items that I made in order to accomplish what I want to do to press the bearings off, or this main bearing off and the steering stem out. So we'll start with the main character here, which is this piece of aluminum, scrap or something I got. This serves two purposes. You'll see it when I press it on and press it off. Basically, this piece is going to be up here, and that's where it's going to live most of the time in regards to pressing the stem off and the bearings back on. That's why I need this piece here. This piece also is going to serve two purposes, as I said. You'll see in the video, there's a shoulder on here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little shoulder on here, and this fits down in here because when you press the bearing back on, it's got to press on the inside. It almost snaps in. It's got to press on the inside of the race, not the cage. So I made it a shoulder in here. I like to use shoulders. I don't like to use just a piece of flat and trying to use that. This actually locks into place a little bit and makes pressing a little easier. You don't have to guide stuff around. So this slides into here, and you'll see when I press this bearing back on, you'll see how I do that. Flip it around. I turned a piece of Delrin. Just I wanted to try to see if it'll work. Put a little shoulder on it. This guy fits into here. This comes up here like this. And this guy, I probably don't even need this here. I actually don't for this operation. This will reside under here, because if you look at these, sorry for the lighting here. If you look at these are raised a little bit, and you don't want to put a piece of flat here because you could cause undue stress and you could crack the aluminum itself on the triple tree. So I made this piece here with a shoulder on it to clear these little bumps, and it fits pretty good in there. And so once you press the shaft back, the shaft comes out this way. As you press it out, it falls right out. And when you do that, at the same time, this bearing comes off too, because it presses it off the shaft, the steering stem. So I'm going to set you up on the homemade press that I made out of a tow truck cylinder, tow truck stabilizer, a $50 Facebook Marketplace 3-phase Dayton pump. The pump is only putting out 1,000 PSI. I don't even know if, I haven't even opened to see if there's a relief I can turn in on it, because the motor and everything in the pump weigh a couple hundred pounds. It's a 10-gallon reservoir. So I haven't really taken it apart to see if I can turn up the pressure or not. But what I'm probably going to do with this press is get a whole different pump setup to where I can have 3,000 psi, so the pressure of the tonnage for the press itself could probably be almost 20 tons or so. So that's another project to come. But right now, this does press bearings on and off, as you've seen before in other videos, without a problem. This will be, I'm going to press it slow, not fast. And sometimes if I do bottom it out, you'll notice that the pump may want to stall a little bit. I'm not harming anything. It's not a big deal, but it does work. So more to come on that. I'll get it set up on the press right now, and we'll press this off. And then when the bearings come in, I have them on order. They should be here very shortly. I will make another video or part 2 or continue with this and press them back on. Okay, so I'm here set up in my homemade press, and I had to make another piece of Delrin because that other color, the black Delrin, I think is not as hard as a durometer as the white one. So I just said, let me just make a white one. Machined it on the lathe real quick. A very important thing, make sure that when you press this out, you're even spacing with the hole here. You don't want to hit the Delrin. So I also made a pusher here. I like to, again, push on shoulders. Try to protect the edges and threads if possible. So I'll set it up here. We'll make sure we're square here. It's usually right on the edge of this radius. This is the most critical point right here in regards to pressing this thing out, because you don't want to miss and hit the bottom out the Delrin. So we're pretty good there. And I have a brass pusher, the main pusher here. I'll turn on the pump. It's kind of loud. And we're going to press this stem out. Up here, looks pretty good. Hopefully the Delrin holds up. Let's try it. Oh, hold on. It's lined up there. Try giving it a press. So press the main bearing off. No damage. Came out nice. No damage to the Delrin, so it looks like the Delrin's a success. So once I get the new bearings, I'll press the new ones on and show you how I do that.